Hi guys, my name is Sandy. I'm a homeschooling mom of two boys. We are finishing up our 5th grade year and our 7th grade year this year. This is our 4th year of homeschooling, and next year we are getting ready for our 5th year of homeschooling. And I thought I would give you guys today an end of the year update for our curriculum, like what worked for us, what didn't work for us. So here is what my 7th grader thought of everything that he used this year. Most of the subjects with my 5th grader and 7th grader were taught separate this year. My 7th grader wanted more independence. And one way that we achieved that was by good organization. I ordered this off of Teachers Pay Teachers. They're cool little Harry Potter themed pages. And each binder that he had a different theme to it. And this is the main one that I have. I bought clipboards for each kid, and it has everything they have to do each day every week. Got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday was just a half a day. And that's each subject, and as he finishes them, he crosses it off. And then behind the main page, I have all the worksheets that they need to do for that week. So when he's crossed up everything for the week and he's done with it, I put it in this main binder. And I just store them. And the thing I like about these is each month has a different picture. This is for April, you've got the Harry Potter candy. And this is for May. We have 2 more weeks in the school year to go with their regular curriculum. There's the last 2 weeks. And after we finish that, we're going to be doing a fun Harry Potter unit. So we kind of loosely follow the public school schedule, and they have a few more weeks to go. So the last 3 weeks of our school year, we're going to do the Harry Potter from Build Your Library. And there's all of the Harry Potter units, they have like a science mixed with it. And this one has a kid's art book. So language arts for my 7th grader, he did level 6 of The Good and the Beautiful this year. He's been doing it for several years. He started at level 4. And he likes it because he knows how it works, and he can pretty much do it all independently. And his favorite art project was the oil pastel bubble picture. So oil pastels was the art medium of choice this year. And we added to that, he's always had a little bit of issue with reading comprehension. So I added reading comprehension to help him out a little bit with that. This book is from Abeka, and it has different stories in it. And then at the end of the stories, there are questions to ask. And that helped him a little bit. After that, I ordered this workbook from Amazon. It's also got short passages with questions. And I either gave him the opportunity to work through this workbook or work online. I found a website called Mr. Nussbaum, and there's a lot of free reading comprehension on that website. And he chose to pretty much do that. His reading comprehension skills have gone up a lot from Mr. Nussbaum. For extra reading for him, here's a few of the books that he read through. This one went with The Good and the Beautiful. This book was really boring. I bought the audio for it, and we all listened to it together, and I even found it boring. But he made it through here. A lot of the lessons are really attached to the curriculum, so you kind of have to use it. And one of the good things about this is he learned how to do outlining really well from this and the curriculum. This is the level 6 reader that came with The Good and the Beautiful. He didn't really like any of the stories in here. And this came from the Good and the Beautiful library. It was purchased separate than the curriculum. This is one of his favorite stories he read this year. And one of his other favorite stories he read was this book right here. And I think he enjoyed the pictures throughout the whole thing. He is going to move on to the Good and the Beautiful level 7 next year for language arts. But instead of any of the attached readers or stories that go with this, I'm going to be switching it out for Brave Writer books. It's going to be some Arrow and some Boomerang. So for The Good and the Beautiful level 6, here's a few of the pros and cons. The pros, it's open and go. My son likes the predictability of it. He's been using it for years. He knows exactly what to expect. It covers every aspect of language arts. And he liked the sentence dictation part. Let me show that to you guys. So at the beginning of every lesson, there are a few sentences with different rules that the child needs to follow. And he would type these up. And I saw a huge improvement in his spelling and grammar skills doing this every single day. So some of the cons, the included stories were boring, which he's mentioned for several years. He liked the level 4 stories and then like nothing after that. He became sick of the sentence diagramming after doing it for several years. I wish it could have a few more writing assignments, and the Little Lord book was very dry. So for math this year, we mainly tried 2 curriculums. We started off the year with Easy Peasy Pre-Algebra. We've been using Easy Peasy off and on for years, and it's always worked really good with my kids. They enjoyed the online and offline activities that went with it. We got to like lesson 50, and then we realized it wasn't working anymore. Major issues was that it was taking way too many big leaps, and he was kind of falling behind. This is the answer key. So I thought I would try something new. We got from Masterbooks Principles of Mathematics, and I also purchased the online lectures to go with this. I mainly picked this because the price was pretty good, and this has been great. We have about 1 more week to go, and then we're going to be done with the whole curriculum. And this is going in really small steps. That's what he likes, and he's actually understanding it really well. This is the answer section. These are the worksheets. And then this is really the teacher portion where I can just open it and he can either read it or I can read it to him. And this is the exact same as the online lectures, so you can use either or. And I would say this has been a huge success. So this is science for him. He spent the majority of the year using the BJU distance learning package for the level 7. What we had tried at the beginning of the year, he was going to do a science co-op, and he actually did end up doing it. It was online. It was with several other different homeschool kids. So before we started the co-op, I had done easy peasy biology with both of my kids, and that was working pretty good. They were understanding it, and they were actually enjoying it. And then we did the co-op for the 2 months, and then after that, the online class just wasn't working. So I thought, you know what, we've been using BJU for years, but never the distance learning. So I thought, I'm going to just buy the whole package and let him do this on his own for the rest of the school year. And it wasn't a perfect fit for us. I think it would have gone much, much better had I done the teacher taught, like I'd always done in the past. So I'm just going to give you guys a few pros and cons of that. And this is just on the distance learning. The pros, it's a very good education. He learned how to study for a test. I haven't really done too many test-taking skills with my kids in the past, and this kind of helped him. He also learned good note-taking skills with the printable notes that they give you, and it's very rigorous and detailed. The cons, too much information for him. The textbook was a little bit too advanced, like it was pushing too much information on him, and he was having trouble soaking it in. The lessons took too long and he found them boring. With the reading assignment and the worksheet that was almost daily and the online lecture and other activities, it was like 45 minutes to an hour a day for 7th grade science, and that's just too long. Another con for me was the price. This is I bought it brand new. I'm used to buying everything used for BJU, and I splurged and got it, and I was a little bit disappointed for the price that I spent. I think there's a lot of cheaper curriculum that are really good out there. Another thing is several of the answers were missing from the online teacher book. So this is the lab manual. I pulled out pages here for him to work on. And I noticed like 4 or 5 of these weren't even in the teacher answer key at all. And that kind of bothered me a little bit. So overall, BJU is a very good curriculum and your kids will learn from it. I kind of wish we would have stuck with the easy peasy biology for him for the rest of the year, just because I don't know how much of this he soaked in from BJU. Just so much information coming at him. So for history, we started off the year with the Good and the Beautiful history, and we used them last year when we were going in our RV, and it worked really good for us, and it is a good curriculum. But after the Civil War unit this year, it was kind of apparent to me that it wasn't working for our family as well anymore. We do love this part of the book, though. This is the big book of history stories. So after that, I tried a different curriculum called The Story of Civilization, and that worked really good for us. We used this the rest of the year. I bought the audiobook for it, and this is the activity book to go with it. And it was a winner for us, and we are going to be using the audiobook next year also. And I did do this subject with both my kids together. This is the last year we're going to be doing any subjects together. And of course we had the Knotgrass map books. This worked out good the whole year. And also from Homeschool in the Woods, we have these really cool timelines from modern history. And this also worked out really well for us the whole year. And some other highlights from history this year, I always use these books. These are interactive history books. All of these worked well. And when we did a Titanic unit, I tried this out. And this was also a winner for history. It's a cut and paste activity book for the Titanic. So, some differences between the Good and Beautiful history and the Tan Story of Civilization. The good things about the Good and Beautiful history is it's open and go. It's got a variety of different activities, and my kids did enjoy it. The cons were too much time devoted to individual people. Like, the lessons are only supposed to be 2 days a week, and it would spend too much of the lessons just on one person at a time. And then not a broad enough overview of different historical events. So the Story of Civilization, the pros, more traditional subject matter, it's a really good base that can be easily customized. Like, I could add in extras really easy. My kids enjoy the dramatized audiobook. The facts were really sticking. Like, towards the end of the lesson, I would ask them what they remembered, and they remembered a lot. They really enjoyed the online streaming lectures, and I liked how it talked about all the presidents, and it gave an overview of the important events that happened each time. The cons, it was, this workbook has activities, like hands-on activities, and most of them were meant for younger kids. Craft projects. So this was the first year that we tried a morning basket together. My kids now have separate bedrooms, and it was harder to do the bedtime story read aloud like we used to. So these are some of the highlights from our morning basket. I purchased this from Catholic Heritage Curriculum. It's Growing in Grace and Wisdom. You read a story, and then there's hands-on activities that go with the story. And then also I went with the maturation unit from The Good and the Beautiful for a morning basket. And I thought that was pretty helpful. I do recommend it. And then finishing up right now for morning basket is the Farmer's Almanac. My younger son in level 4 from The Good and the Beautiful, or I think it was level 3, he had read a story about an Amish family and mentioned the Farmer's Almanac, and he didn't even know what that was. So I purchased one, and we're using it for the morning basket. And there are articles in here. It talks about when the sun rises and sets. It talks about different holidays. There's just a lot of cool information that my kids are enjoying. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for our year. I'm looking forward to starting the Harry Potter unit in 2 weeks. And I hope this video was helpful. Bye guys!